Hey guys, how you all doing? Welcome to my Paris and London book haul. Today I will show you what books I got in Paris and in London. So the first books I'm going to show you are the books that I bought in Paris. The first bookstore I went to was, of course, the Shakespeare and Company shop. I got this amazing bag, this tote bag, Shakespeare and Company. And I got two books there. I went to the young adult section and I asked the person who worked there if he had a recommendation, and he had one. It was wrapped in this very awesome paper. It says, "Outside of a dock, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dock, it's too dark to read." Which is of course obvious, but I thought the joke was kind of funny. And the book he recommended to me, The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. It is one of those modern classics that everybody should read, but I hadn't, so he recommended this book to me and I thought, you know, why not? And it was 14 euros, which I think is pretty expensive for a book, but you know, because it's so thin. But it's a classic and I thought, you know, whatever, it's Shakespeare and Company, I should buy it. And it has this stamp in it. And this book is about the greasers and the rich kid's socks are at a war at Tulsa Street. Pony Boy, a 14-year-old brawler, chain smoker and a dreamer, is a fiercely loyal greaser, but a single murderous catastrophe is to wrench him from his old life and overturn everything he thinks to know. This is a book that you should all read when you grow up, so looking forward to it. Thank you for the recommendation, Dude from Shakespeare and Company. I also got this book, which is about the history of Shakespeare and Company, and it has a lot of pretty pictures in it, so I'm really looking forward to just, you know, go through this book. Of course, I also went to two other bookstores. At one, I didn't buy anything. It was at my last day in Paris and my money was all, you know, spent. But I went to another bookstore and I forgot the name. This is Zodiac. I bought there. I fell in love with the cover. I haven't found out anything about the book, but it is a galaxy and it has to do with Ro, I think. That's what I know. And things she discovers. It is about a galaxy in which your sign determines who you are and what planet you call home. There's this girl called Ro, and she has to find a way to bring together the houses of Zodiac before something evil is going to happen over there, so it sounds pretty amazing. And it's a very thick book. It was 11 euros, so I thought, you know, I have to have this book. Moving on. So I went to London and I went there for 2 days. I won the vlog competition by HarperCollins Holland, and my sister and I were able to go shopping in London for 2 whole days. I got 9 books in London because I only had hand luggage and I couldn't take any more books with me to the Netherlands, so here we go. The first book I got at Waterstones is Half Lost, which is the third book in a trilogy. I got the first one from a competition of a Dutch book retailer. I won the book. It was the first hardcover edition and signed by the author. I got the second book last year at Waterstones in the same edition, signed hardcover first edition. At the same Waterstones I went this year, and look what they had, the third book in the series. So I'm happy my series is finally complete and I will start reading them very soon, I hope. So I was pretty happy they had this book there. It was expensive, my most expensive book. There was also a really cool guy over at Waterstones. He worked there and he recommended a book to me. I asked him, do you have any recommendations? And he recommended this book, There Will Be Lies by Nick Lake. And he explained to me what this book was about. It is contemporary but with some fantasy themes in it, and the cover of the book says, there will be 2 lies, then there will be the truth. And that will be the hardest of all. So this book is about Shelby Jane. She's 17 years old. She lives with her mother and her mother keeps her in all the time, so she's always safe. But all of a sudden a car knocks her down and it's the beginning and the end of everything. So it's very vague and I have no real clue what this book is about, but I'm very excited, so thank you for the recommendation. The third book I got at Waterstones is One by Sarah Crossan. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, and I saw it lying there, and it was signed by Sarah herself, so I couldn't, leave it there. I got it. This book is about a conjoined twins, so they don't only share faces, they actually share blood and bones. So I'm really looking forward to read this book. It sounds very interesting and I can't wait to start reading this. The fourth and last book I got at Waterstones is a book that I've been wanting to have so badly, but I never, actually got it, which is a problem I have with a lot of books. So this book is called The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. She is actually one of the most amazing persons. I know her through YA Books Central, which I am a staff reviewer at. She writes books as well. She wrote the Defiance series, and this year or last year she released The Shadow Queen, which is the first book in a series or a trilogy. And this book is like a retelling of Snow White. The book is about Lorelai and Irina, and one is on the throne and the other one has to knock the other one off the throne. I think that's what I got from the back of the book. Lorelai, she must kill the wicked queen who took both the Ravenspire throne and the life of her father. So Lorelai is Snow White, and the other main character in the book is Irina. She must hold the throne, dispatching a dragon-shifting huntsman to cut out Lorelai's heart. So she's, the evil queen in the whole story. I'm really looking forward to read this book. I wish I had gotten myself the hardcover version because I know that one is much prettier, but I saw this one at Waterstones and I had money with me to buy books and I couldn't just leave it there, so I got it and I'm really looking forward to this book. I've read a couple of retellings of fairy tales and I just love them. They're so wonderful. And I'm really looking forward to read this book as well. So the fifth book is not a real book. It is a notebook in which you can keep track of the books you've read. It's this one, The Book Journal by Moleskine. I never know how to pronounce that name. But as you can see, you can just keep track of what the name of the book is, when you've read it, what your review is, and everything you need to know is on alphabetical order, which is something I totally like. And I've been looking all around Amsterdam, Utrecht, places in the Netherlands. I've been looking all around Paris to get this book, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't even find it online, so when I was in London at the Waterstones, I saw it there and I bought it, and it was way too expensive for a notebook, but whatever. So we're moving on to foils. I went to foils on the second day in London and I got 5 books over there. One of the books I got there is 1,000 Nights, which also sounds like a Disney movie but isn't. But this book is about a village, and in that village there's this king and he comes there to take wives and girls and whatever. And he takes the sister of the main character of this book and she is going to do everything to get back her sister. I wasn't planning to take this book, but I saw the cover and I read the back of the book and I was like, I gotta have this. The second book I got there is This Savage Song by V.E. Swap. We're going to read this book for next month's book club. So I have no clue what this book is about, but we're not even sure we're going to read this, but right now this one is first in votes. So it was not at the young adult section, but at the fantasy and science fiction section at the bookstore, but I'm pretty sure you can also count this in as a young adult book. It made me feel like A Court of Thorns and Roses-ish. And this book is about 2 cities and the main characters are they're becoming the new king and queen of their cities and they have to, bring the cities together. It's about violence and deadly monsters, which is something I really like, but I'm really looking forward to this book, I think. Another book I got there I was really excited about, they had it, is Invaded, which is the second book to the Alienated series. Basically, the first book is about this girl who goes to school, and at her school there's this new boy and he's an alien. And that's the whole alienated thing. They have to, just go to school, fit in, and this is the second book to the series. I haven't read the back of the book yet because I'm afraid that it will spoil something from the first book in the series, so I have no clue what this is about. If you've read this second book, just don't spoil anything, just let me know down below if it's any good, okay? 2 more books! One of them is Run by Cody Keplinger. She's the author of the Duff and the Lying Out Loud series. I love her so much. I saw this book and I actually grabbed it twice without knowing. I got it when I came in, and then I was just walking around, got some other books, put them back, and I got it again. And my sister was like, you already have that book with you. And I'm like, no. But I did. A girl with an alcoholic mom and a dad that's not so good, and she wants to run away, I think. And there's this other girl who's very staying at home. She never goes out past her curfew, and they become friends, and they have to decide, you know, how much is this friendship worth and how far can you go to keep a friendship. They have to make the decision, are we going to run or are we going to stay? The last book I got in London is Across the Universe by Beth Revis. Shout out to Rebecca, she's one of our reviewers. She loves this book and she told me 100 times to buy it and I never did, so I did. Rebecca, thank you for the recommendation, I got it. So these were all the books I got in Paris and London, so I went to a lot of amazing bookstores and I should really, you know, I want to tell you more about it, but this video is getting so long. Let me know down below which books of my book haul you bought or read, and you know, shoot me any questions about these books if you want, and I will just hopefully start reading them as soon as I can. Hope to see you guys later. Bye!